This is Sky, and today I'm going to show you how I made over a trash tabletop that went from garbage to geometric gem. Here are the main tools and supplies I used. A found tabletop, block and hand sander, rasp, my HomeRight Finish Max Extra Paint Sprayer and Finish Max Medium Spray Shelter, a metal plant stand, leftover latex paint and spray paint, electric drill, geometric stencil, assorted hardware, and a 1/4-inch tempered round glass tabletop with a 25-inch diameter. Here's what I did. First, I cleaned, then sanded every surface of the tabletop. I then painted the metal base with some leftover white semi-gloss latex paint. To get a super smooth finish, I used my HomeRight Finish Max Extra Paint Sprayer and applied it in my medium spray shelter. I decided I wanted to add a little bling to the base, so I painted it a rose gold. It turned out this tabletop's underside was way more interesting and offered compartments to style, so I painted the new bottom and bottom edge before taping off all the new top compartment edges. But before spray painting inside the compartments, I wanted to make the screw holes to attach the base. First, I placed the base onto the tabletop and measured to place it in the center. I then traced around the base onto the tabletop compartment edges so I would know how far the base extended and where to put the screw holes. Next, I removed the base and measured and marked the center point of each side of the center compartment. Starting from these centered points, I measured out perpendicularly 1 1/4 inch. Then marked and made my drill holes. In order for the screws to sit flush into the wood, I used a 1/2-inch countersink bit. If you're like me, who's never used one before, practice on a scrap piece of wood first. It's quite easy to get the hang of it and a definite must-have in your toolbox. I then flipped the tabletop over, measured so I could center the base, then I taped it down and flipped it back over. Here's how it went with my mom cheering me on. Give it a shot.
Okay.
We'll see.
Good.
We're now ready to screw the tabletop onto the base. Previously, I spray painted the screws rose gold as a tiny color tie-in detail and allowed them to dry. I drilled holes down through the tabletop and base, then used a rasp to sand off any sharp edges on the metal base. Now, back to the tabletop. To avoid overspray, I used newspaper and painter's tape to mask off the outer wood surface of the tabletop. I then placed it inside the shelter and sprayed to cover all the compartments completely. After drying, I wanted to add a little design panache, so I used a geometric stencil to mimic the shape of the table. I wasn't too concerned about being perfect because I planned to distress the pattern once it was dry. After sanding, I wiped on a light stain to bring out the natural color of the wood and to make the painted stencil design pop. I then attached the tabletop to the base using Phillips flathead screws, nuts, and to hold it in place, added washers. To finish, I added plastic glass bumpers and then the glass. I'm so excited how well this turned out. I styled it to show you its possibilities, like adding collectibles, photos, and seasonal knickknacks. I hope this project inspires you to look around your neighborhood for potential made-over gems. It's amazing what a little DIY love can do for an item heading for the dump. Leave a comment below to let us know what you think about this project. Thanks a bunch! For more detailed instructions, go to our website. If you'd like to check out more of our doable DIY projects, follow us on Instagram or Pinterest. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos.